loved ones are often the hardest to buy for during the holidays, and as seniors downsize, what they don't need are more impractical things.
Well, here to talk about this practical gifts is aging expert Anthony Cirillo.
Anthony, good morning. How are you? Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. Good morning. Looking good.
Thank you.
I think the truth is, I think this is fair to say, it really is harder to buy gifts for people as they get older, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. You know, you have one hand, I have my mother-in-law, right? Chris was talking about grandparents buying gifts and well, she buys for 30 plus people, right? She doesn't shop online and she doesn't drive. That's a whole nother story.
Right.
But then she'll tell you, don't get me anything. Well, you know,
and that's not even, we want to get her something. No, it's not practical.
It's psychologically, there's a benefit of giving, and it's an extension of who we are and our love for people. So,
right.
Yeah.
So when they say don't get me anything, still get them a little something,
yeah, but you got to be, I think as we grow older, you got to be practical.
Okay, so you do have some practical gift ideas that we can give to folks as they age?
Absolutely. You might even say it's practical and maybe even a little bit boring. But these are really for older folks if you think about safety and independence. So let's look at it that way. So the first thing is that, you know, bathroom safety. So grab bars are a big thing. And this is a photo of something I found. It's called Medline. And what's different about it is that instead of having clamps that, you know, you put on the shower that a lot of times can come off, this one actually, you know, screws into the side of the tub. So it's much safer. It will not, you know, you won't necessarily pull it away from the wall, that kind of thing. So something like that is practical, under $30. Again, if you're a family caregiver, during the course of the year, you may be thinking about these things anyway, but in this context, a little bit different. But that can give away to another idea, which is safety-proofing your house. And you can do it by getting a checklist online, or you can hire aging-in-place experts to do that as well. If you move to the kitchen, actually FEMA has statistics, it's 2.5 times more likely for people 65 and over to have kitchen fires. So an induction cooktop is actually something, the senior who's in an apartment has no flames, doesn't heat up, it heats the pot. So, you know, practical,
great idea.
Small little idea. Again, you can get them from $50 and up.
Oh, I love a practical gift. I think that's great.
There you go.
Yeah.
What about senior gifts are you talking about, too?
So, you know, medication management.
I was just going to say.
There's so many pill containers out there. You can get really sophisticated electronically, you know, you can monitor them, or you can get something like this one, Med Center's 31-day pill container. It's under $30, you know, that kind of thing. The other thing, emergency response systems, you know, I hate to categorize them, I fall and I can't get up, but, you know, those are the things that, you know, people can need as they get older. And the other thing is maybe you can honor some of their hobbies. And so the next thing we have is, I think, a gardening
Well, I
tools.
think a lot of people love gardening. It's a very popular hobby, and if you've got a senior who's still active and loves to work out in the garden, this is a great gift idea.
Right. This is a foldable kneeler and garden seat, and you can find it online. And look how much easier it makes to kind of do those chores, where, again, if somebody was doing them without the seat, maybe they, you know, hazards of falling and, you know, those types of things. So, you know, you really can promote safety.
I think that's great. What about items for the active older adult who is living independently?
Right. So I can imagine the eye rolling on the last, some of those things. So, you know, my son, you know, is thinking innovatively as I get older too, because Dad, you're impossible to buy for. What do you buy? So gift cards are great because you know, we have restaurants we love and tickets to events. So last year he actually got me a StubHub gift card.
Did he?
So there, you combine two things right there. You got the gift card and you got the event. If you want to get a little more extravagant, plane tickets, you know, to take, you know, have people come visit you. Obviously, I've talked about my mom in the past. You know, we bought her an iPad one year, and I think that's about communication with grandchildren and children. And I think this year those Amazon and Google products where you know, talk into Alexa or whatever it might be, you know, play me Christmas. I think some of those are actually going to be very practical and useful for seniors as we age. So I think those two, memory books, scrapbooks, they're all interesting ideas as well.
Great ideas.
You know, I got a question. What do you do for the senior? And I'm thinking about my mom who says, I don't want anything, and they're almost adamant about they just don't want anything.
Well, and here's where we can get a little creative. And some of these, again, are some things you might do as a family caregiver over the course of a year. But if you're the friend of a family caregiver, you might also help out as well. So one of the things I talk about is keep old traditions alive and also, start new traditions. So I grew up in South Philadelphia. I'm Italian. We have the meal of the 7 fishes at, Christmas Eve. And Mom used to always make the wedding soup, and she had to make the little meatballs, and she makes the pizzelles, those Italian cookies. So when she moved to Florida and then to our house, and basically that's your job. That's your job every Christmas. And when she couldn't do it any longer, you're the supervisor. And then we started new traditions down here, like taking her to the Southern Christmas show and things like that. Give the gift of time. This is a big one. Even though I was my mom's caregiver, we had a designated day of the week where we would just spend time, maybe going to the mall or other things like that. Cook a meal. 1 in 6 seniors are actually food deprived. And that's something that is a serious issue because when you're living alone, a lot of times you're not going to cook for yourself or you don't have the ability to. So cook a meal, gift a meal, have a meal delivered, things like that. Run errands for people, and then pay it forward. There are things, again, and some of these are safety issues, like pay a lawn service to do their lawn if they're still doing it. Could be a safety hazard. Or pay their cable bill, or something that's very practical, fairly inexpensive, but can have a lot of meaning and also promote health and safety.
Great ideas, Anthony Cirillo. Thank you so much. For more, go to theagingexperience.com, theagingexperience.com. I really think those are great suggestions.
Thanks.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Indeed.
All right.